Right, what's up? Welcome back, guys. Today's video will be a little bit different. I think by the title, you can already see that it's going to be about my own portfolio. Where am I in my journey in this crazy world? What am I doing? What am I focusing on? Uh, Basically, what's my plan, I think. Obviously, a little bit different, like I said, not very chart oriented. But I've been asked this question, and I think it's important to not look to others as much as people tend to do, and not focus on what you don't have, but focus on what you can build towards. Because I am still nowhere near where I want to be, but I know that I'm on the right track, and I have been slowly building the past couple of years. And once you get past a certain point, your mindset changes, and you start to see your assets grow, and it grows confidence. So you become your own investor. You build your own plan, in a sense, I suppose. So yeah, I will be sharing what I currently hold, percentage wise at least. And yeah, let's just run through it. And like I said, keep in mind that this is just my personal opinion, my personal journey, and it's not. I'm not telling you how to focus your builds, your portfolio, whatever. This is just me plainly how I'm doing things. All right, let's just get into this. Oh, and by the way, I am almost at 500 subscribers. You would do me a massive, massive favor if you hit that like and subscribe button, and possibly watch a couple of my videos if you're while you're at it, because it would be a personal milestone for me, and I should have actually put it on the chart as well, but I didn't. But yeah, you would be helping me out massively, so please hit that like and subscribe button, and let's grab my portfolio. All right, so here we are at my my awesome looking tracker, which I made very quickly in Excel. So yeah, don't judge me too harshly on that. I might actually in the future do a fancier one with some nice graphs and charts and whatever. But honestly, I don't really care. So I know what I hold in what portfolio, where I do it, and how. So yeah, I don't really care about the shiny part of it. But yeah, I think the main importance is that right now, I'm basing this off of my holdings right now. I am planning some very big changes, and they're not 100% on this chart. So, but I'll explain that a little bit. But right now, I have about 40% of my assets in crypto, 50% in stocks, 5% in just my regular savings accounts, because a lot of the assets I hold are quite liquid and they're easy to withdraw. So I figured why waste putting it in my savings account if I can just shove it into stocks where they gain a little bit more of a return rather than a traditional savings account. Other than that, I have some miscellaneous, I suppose, assets, roughly 5% right now, not very big, very, very big percentage wise. Uh, yeah, other than that, I have my property, the house I live in, which I bought, I think, around eight years ago, maybe 9 years now. And during that time, like there's a massive housing shortage, so housing crisis, I would say, which are really, really, really inflating the prices. So I think my house is more than double in value right now, paired with the additions that I made on it. Uh, it has had a very big return. The downside is that I live in this house, so I can't sell it. I can't rent it out. I could get a roommate or something, but honestly, I don't want to. So yeah, I have a lot of value, but it's basically paper value. It's value on paper, which usually you can't really do anything with. So I have a lot of unrealized profit on that house. Uh, I did add potential for added investments because I do think that I can basically up my mortgage a little bit, get some more cash out of it. So basically, get the paper value out of it, and then shift that into other assets. Now there is, of course, a very high risk to this, because if you lose that money, then yeah, you're on the hook for it. You still have to pay back the mortgage, the bank. So I'll get into it in a little bit, but I have some forms of investing where I'm relatively comfortable taking that money out and reinvesting it over longer periods of times. uh, I'm thinking along the lines of 10, 20 years. Like in that time, the debt will decrease in value through inflation. The money I take out and reinvest and compound will gain value. So, paired with that devaluation of the debt and that increase on value on the money, I think I can make a very big return on it. So, I'm pretty positive that I'm going to do that in a very short amount of time. So that will shift these percentages, at least initially, but it will most likely end up in the stock portfolio because it's safer than crypto. Like, I don't want to take that risk on my assets with crypto because right now I'm mainly investing into crypto with money I can afford to lose because I'm using the monthly. There's no debt on that. I have no other debt than just my mortgage either. So I have been very, very strict about that, not building any credit, not building any debt, no high interest loans anywhere. Even this loan would be a very low interest loan, especially compared to other countries. Like I've watched videos about people having loans in America with 10, 13, 14, 15, even higher percentages on those amounts of money. You will never pay that off. It will be extremely difficult to pay that off. So it will be a very low interest loan, a loan which I know I can pay off quite easily, even over several years of time. I can afford it. I can pay that monthly. It'll just speed up the journey that I'm already making. So I included it, but I didn't give it a percentage because it's not, right now it's not really, I'm not really counting it. Even though it is growing, of course, and maybe in the future, if you do decide to move to a different country where there's no income tax, like Dubai or something like that, then obviously you would benefit massively from selling the value of that house and taking up all the extra value. But yeah, I didn't include it for now because right now this is the situation where I have my holdings. So I have my crypto holdings 40%. I have a long-term hold portfolio. I kind of had to cut it off because it wouldn't fit. But this is a long-term portfolio, mainly bigger crypto like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, basically the bigger cryptos that I hold. I have those mostly in this account, roughly 40%. Then I have another account with 40% with some lower caps. Now I say lower caps, but these are all like 2, 3, 4, 10 billion dollar market caps. So these are still relatively big, but they're a lot smaller than the main crypto portfolio. Value wise, right now they're at the same level. And it's also because I've shifted a bit out of Bitcoin, a bit more into Ethereum and XRP, because Bitcoin had already had its run, took some profit, shifted it. So it's not set in stone. Like I take profits, I move around money where I think there are possibilities. But this is roughly like today this is 40%. If I could decide to shift it percentage wise, but right now it's 40%. The mainly lower caps, 40%. Trading portfolio. So I recently did a video about SNX. I put quite a bit of cash into SNX, which of course did really well, which pushed this percentage up considerably as well. Took massive profits, bought a little bit back, which decreased. So also that shifts, but that is a relatively sizable trading portfolio where I just trade crypto rather than just hold it. And this is still mainly spot, like sometimes a low leverage because it's easier to shift money from exchanges. So I could open a leverage trade, but I am mainly a spot trader. So that trading portfolio is this is basically all spot trades, all spot crypto. Then I have my leverage portfolio, only 2%, because like I said, I don't like leverage. I think leverage is like, it can benefit people. Some people are really good with it. And like I said, to each his own. I've tried a lot of leverage in the past. I've made a lot of money with it, but I did not like the stress that came with it. I was glued to charts, stressing constantly with my phone, even on holidays, birthdays, parties, whatever. I was constantly monitoring my phone, constantly in trades, and the crypto market doesn't sleep, like it doesn't close. So day and night I would be watching charts. Even when I was in my bed, I would be setting alerts, and I would wake up through the night trying to monitor it. Like I said, I've made a lot of money. I also lost quite a bit of money. I was I suppose one of the lucky ones, because I made quite a bit more than I lost. But overall, I'd say leverage is not for me. I think there's like the return on spot can be just as good, if not better, with a lot more free time and a lot more time to diversify into side jobs, side income. I don't know, like to each his own, but get a hobby, whatever you want to do. And I think getting a side income going and shifting all that money into crypto, into your portfolios, into your savings will render you much more profit than trying to be profitable trading forever, because eventually you're going to wipe an account, and not once, you're going to do it several times over. And a lot of people, like even the best traders, can get liquidated, and you end up losing. To me, you end up losing too much. All right, so that's the crypto portfolio. Then we go to the stocks portfolio. So I have a dividend growth portfolio. I'm shifting a lot of money into this. I call this my retirement fund, because honestly, I don't trust the government in the Netherlands. My father passed away when he was 51. I was 14 years old when my father passed away. Horrible time, by the way. But yeah, the retirement age in the Netherlands is just being moved and moved and moved up. I'll be lucky to even get to that age, and I will have paid for a retirement fund my entire life and never have been retired if I die at the same age that my father did. So for me, myself personally, I've decided like I'm gonna be able to retire in the next 10 years. And I say able because it's not that I don't want to work, that I want to do nothing at all, but I want to have the option. I want to have the freedom to work less, work somewhere else, do, I don't know, just a side job or a hobby, whatever. I want to have that freedom, and I want to be in control of it. Like nobody else can touch it. I am in control of my funds, my future, my holdings. So I'm building this portfolio. It's on eToro, by the way. You can actually publicly see that. I'm a popular investor on that. There is a link to it in the description. But I'm building it on there. Pays a lot of dividends. It pays you around 6% cash dividends per year. And some of it is paid monthly, some of it paid quarterly, some of it paid every 6 months, some yearly even. So that it differs a little, but overall over 6 years you get 6% on that, and the growth return has been really good for the past years. I think at the last 2-year average I'm around 45% out of the top of my head, so that's been going really well. Donald Trump has rained a little bit on my parade, so this year the returns are a little less, sadly, but still a very good return, much more than my savings account. It's still, the total return for this year would be around 16 to 18%. So for stocks, especially a very low risk conservative approach, still very good. Then I have another portfolio with long-term hold stocks. Now here in this portfolio, I'm very ETF oriented, and a few stocks with very safe approaches, very bigger stocks, and long-term hold stocks. That's where I basically buy the riskier ones. So I'm a firm believer that China is going to be one of the economic superpowers in the future. And I think the Chinese cars, for example, the car maker BYD, which is also a very good battery maker. I think a lot of electric cars use their battery platform, and they have amazing quality on those batteries and safety as well. So I've been to a dealership, I saw their cars, the quality of the work, the quality of the software that it had, and I'm like I drive an electric car, I drive in a European company's electric car, and honestly, the Chinese cars is much better. So that, to me, like remembering what Warren Buffett said, like buy what you use, and yeah, I was blown away by it. So stocks like that, where I think there's opportunity here, this is going to do really well in the future, those stocks I buy and I hold in this portfolio. So BYD being one of them. Some smaller companies can be a part of it. Yeah, I'm not really gonna name any specific ones, but I have some energy stocks, some possibly some goods focused, and a lot of tech as well, because I think tech and AI possibly, but I think tech and development and IT, it's going to be the future. Energy as well, because the more AI we use, the more data centers are built, the more we're going to need energy, oil, gas, etc. Like, buy what you use, and those are all stuff that we use daily. So I think it's very good to hold it in the future, and now into the future. Then I have a small trading portfolio where I trade a little bit more actively. I also believe in holding it on different platforms, so that's a little side account I have, and I got a few benefits by opening the account, so that's why I have that. Then I have the Pelosi Challenge portfolio, which I started with a couple $100, but I already had some funds on that account, so I did open that as well. I could be a little wrong on that percentage wise, but I think right now it's around 5% ish. So I have that portfolio. It's been doing really well, actually. And right now I'm just waiting to see what more of that challenge happens. Then we get to my savings accounts, which is a little bit more boring. I have a few monthly salaries in either. So I put a few in these, I put a few in those. And I have separate bank accounts for either, because one is basically a company, and it's easier to hold that separately for your tax returns. So I have some savings on that one. I have some savings on that one. Then we have my passive income funds. I have a very small peer-to-peer lending account, which I used in the past as well, but I think I'm going to build that up again, because it had good returns and I didn't have to do anything for it. Not even monitoring it. You just basically a set and forget approach. And I had like a 15% return yearly on it, which I still think is good. And the platform itself is also growing, and they're also working on crowdfunding real estate. So right now there's a little bit in that and a little bit in that. Passive income ideas. I have a small balance of funds tucked away. Whenever I find something good where I think, oh, this could possibly net me some passive income. To be fair, I've not found very much legitimate ways. The best one so far is the cash dividend one, by far, because it's actually passive income. But I have a small side account for that. So whenever I come across something, I can move some money quickly, and I try it out, see if it's good, see if it nets me some returns, and if I like it, I might shift more money into it, but I'm not always busy with that. So lastly, I have a few assets which I'm looking at right now. Gold and silver or at least gold has been doing really, really well. I've been tipped about silver, there being a massive shortage of silver, and it's used in a lot of production of a lot of today's goods. Think of EVs, solar panels, etc. And so it's very risky, but there's a very high potential for a very high return. And especially as the US dollar tends to keep weakening, I think the gold and silver are going to go higher, a lot higher. So especially for something to diversify in over time, I could add it to like the long-term hold stocks portfolio. I have a little bit already, but I think I'm a little bit under diversified into it. So I think I'm going to add a little bit more and shift the percentages inside this 30% a little bit more, possibly add it into this as well. And yeah, look at that. Real estate right now, I'm looking, but like I said, real estate in the Netherlands has been exploding, so it's super, super, super expensive. So right now I don't see myself buying some extra property. What I might do is look at outside of the country, look at owning an apartment, like a vacation apartment, sort of like that, I suppose. But I'm not sure on that yet, but I have the time, no stress. A small business, I had some opportunities recently to basically co-invest into a few small businesses. But I was reluctant to do it with other owners, because Yeah, I mean, I think it's risky where you're not the sole owner, and especially when I'm not hands on, because I have a day job, I have an extra job, I have a YouTube channel. I'm way too busy to be on site always. So if I see a good solid idea where I might be able to be every now and then, I'll probably try to invest into it. But right now, I think it's too risky. I don't know. Like I said, it has to feel right as well, and I've not had that feeling yet. And interest on balance. So this is the one I would probably use for my overvalue on my house. There's certain platforms offering up to 4% interest on cash balance on invested funds. And that's where I'm thinking of parking a lot of that money while I decide where to shift it. So even if I shift it into stocks, I don't want to lump sum that all together I don't want to lump it in one go, because that'll be very risky. Sorry. If the price that if a dip happens, a crash happens, or a correction in the market, I'll be down immediately on the total value of that, and that will be super risky. And I don't want to take that risk. So what I'm gonna do is probably find a few of these platforms, park a lot of funds there, and just grab some extra interest, use that interest, and put that into either crypto or portfolio stocks, or a stock portfolio, sorry, and just shift it into these assets even more. And on a side note, what I could do is also shift the initial in, but also I would do that gradually. So I would divide it into maybe like a 2 or 3 year plan, or maybe a 4-year plan, where it's slowly shifted into all these different assets whilst also growing, and while in the meantime it will still net me a higher return than the interest I have to pay on it. All right. So I think that is pretty much my entire portfolio explained with percentages, with everything. If you have any more questions on this, feel free to post a comment in the comment section below, and I'll get to it. Also, once more, if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed what I talk about, please leave a like and subscribe. As I said, I'm almost at 500 subscribers, which is a personal goal for me, or at least a personal milestone for me. So yeah, it would help me massively. And like I said, don't sweat it if you do not have all this. If you only have one wallet, one portfolio, I don't know, if you only own one crypto, there's nothing wrong with that. To each his own plan, to each his own trajectory. And I don't know, like, I think once you wet your feet into investing and into growing your assets, I think like your mindset begins to change. And I think it's a good mindset to be in, because it also encourages you to save money, and saving money is already a very good thing to do. Like, even if you only have savings, you could still be very well off if you're only into savings. Like, you do not have to do all this. And yeah, just take it as it is. Like this, like I said, this is not any financial advice. This is just my plan, what I'm doing. And yeah, people asked, so I wanted to share this with you. And like I said, feel free to do with it whatever you want. Like I said, I do also have some links in the description below for either eToro or Trading 212 or BitUnix. These are all platforms I use personally, and I try to find the safest ones. Are they 100% safe? I don't know, but I think they are amongst the safest ones. And these are all platforms I use personally, and obviously I also have a bunch of crypto wallets. I've done videos about that in the past as well. All right, I'm gonna stop rambling. Like I said, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.